boys and girls. Miss Jodi here for Friday Story Time. I'm in Hanahan Hall, and the most exciting thing is happening in here. The Flower Guild has arrived. They have brought hundreds of flowers in for the Easter Day services to adorn the church. And if you look, we have buckets and buckets and buckets of all different kind of flowers. And it smells heavenly. And there's Miss Janet. Hi, Miss Janet.
Hi.
We're doing a video for the children. Anyway, so I have a story for you today called The Legend of the Sand Dollar, an inspirational story of hope for Easter. And it's all about how a sand dollar can remind us of the resurrection of our Lord Christ. So I hope you enjoy it.
Why can't Mom and Dad take us to the beach? Carrie sniffled. It's only 2 days, whispered Margaret, and they'll come get us on Easter morning. Carrie tried not to cry. Every few years her family went to Aunt Jane's house near the beach. I'll just think about playing with Cousin Jack, she told herself. I'll just think about the ocean. But her tears still fell as the bus took her farther and farther away from her Mom and Dad. Early the next morning at Aunt Jane's, Carrie went out to look at the boats on the river. Carrie still missed her parents, but soon she heard the put-put-put of an engine coming toward her from upstream. Cousin Jack! Carrie, Jack hollered. What do you think about my new boat? It's not very big, she yelled back. Then it's perfect for you. He took her hand and she climbed on board. The river opened to the wide bay. Hang on, Jack yelled. Suddenly, the ocean lay before them, as broad as the sky. A small island appeared in the distance. Waves lapped up against the shore as Jack beached the boat. What's this? Carrie called, holding up a round object. That's a sand dollar, Jack answered. A sand dollar? Carrie cried. This isn't money. Right, said Jack. It's a starfish that used to live in the ocean. How do they get here? Carrie asked. Well, the tide goes out and it leaves the sand dollars behind, Jack said. Why are they called dollars? She asked. Well, real dollars used to be round, said Jack, but they were made of silver. But sand dollars have value too. Then I guess we're rich, Carrie teased. In a way, he answered. The sand dollar tells us a story. It's the greatest story of all. Can you see the Easter lily on that side? It's like a trumpet saying, Jesus is alive. Now look in the middle of the lily. There's the star from the east that led wise men to Christ. We remember Jesus' birth on this side too. See the Christmas flower? Both sides of the sand dollar tell the Easter story. See the 4 nail holes and the 5th hole made by a spear? That reminds us that Jesus died for us. Now hold out your hand, said Jack, and watch very carefully. He broke open one of the sand dollars, and 5 white shapes fluttered down. See the doves? This is the new life, the promise of Easter. As Jesus lives again, so can we. And these doves remind us to spread his promise, and that this hope is to all people. Oh no, Carrie cried, we dropped them. Jack wasn't worried. The high tide will leave more over and over, and I have a whole bucket full at my house. As the tide rushed ashore again, Jack helped Carrie back into the boat, pushed it off the beach, and he jumped inside. The boat crested to the top of each wave, hung in the air, and then swooped down like a ride on a roller coaster. But all the way back, Carrie could only think about the sand dollar and how valuable it really was. That night, the moon rose full across the water. You know what? Asked Jack. Your parents aren't that far away, like the moon and the tide. But the moon is far away from the ocean. But they're still connected, Jack explained. The moon's gravity is what pulls the tide high. From that far away? That's how tide works? Like how God can remind us that he's close too, Carrie whispered, thinking of that sand dollar. The next morning, Carrie put a sand dollar into her sister's hand. "Happy Easter, Margaret," she said. "Thanks, Carrie." Carrie smiled and asked, "Do you see the Easter lily?" "An Easter lily?" "Yeah, and inside there are little doves. I'll tell you the whole story." And they waited for their parents. Carrie shared the good news with her sister, and soon Margaret smiled too.
What a great story. It makes me excited about maybe going to the beach some this summer. Wonder if you guys go to the beach. Wonder if you find sand dollars. Well, the next time you find one, or if you have one, ask your mom if you can open it up and see what's inside. Anyway, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.